Good morning. Good morning, my friend. How are you this Saturday, August 7th? Oh my gosh, this week is already flying by too. Every week it just goes faster and faster till today. I begin with a cup of Rise and Grind Bulletproof coffee. What's in your coffee? Share below. Let's have a drink before we get started. All right, you guys. First of all, I want to say my deepest apologies to my really dear friend, beautiful friend Renee. She's a very, very faithful watcher. Every single Saturday evening, she watches this on YouTube. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much for being such a beautiful friend. And I'm so sorry I missed you yesterday. So I had a very unexpected call from my son. His kids had to leave daycare because somebody in the daycare apparently had tested positive, and so all the kids got sent home and they had nowhere to go. And Grammy Nana actually had a day off yesterday that from my other job, and was to meet up with Renee yesterday, and got called to have babysit my grandkids. So I was Grammy sitting yesterday. So I apologize, Renee. But I thank you so much for being such a wonderful friend. And Renee and her husband. So let's talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to use you as my little subject matter for this morning, just for a quick minute. So her husband had a stroke, and Renee not only was obviously his wife and mom of 6 girls, I want to say, hope I got that right. And they're all adults and they have children of their own, so they're now grandparents too. And Renee, though, also is caretaker. And it's been a long, arduous journey. However, her husband, his name's Johnny, is doing remarkably well. And what I love about these two is not only is Renee's devotion and dedication to her husband, but she also needs help. So what I was wanting and needing to do and should have done, so we got these woulda, shoulda, couldas in there, was yesterday was to go over and give her some space, give her some time out so that she could go do the things that she needed to do. As being a caretaker, as not only being a wife, is extremely challenging. And I remember what that was like with my son. And I know how extremely challenging it can be to be watching somebody 24/7 to make sure that all of their needs are met. And so, Renee, I just, big shout out, big kudos to you, my friend, for being such a wonderful wife, an amazing mother, and most of all, one of the best caretakers I have ever had the pleasure of working with. So I just wanted to acknowledge you today. You so deserve it. And just keep smiling, girl, because I know Johnny's face always lights up when I come around anyway, and it's always really great to see. And I know that you two have gotten through so much together in your lives. This has just been one more thing, and you just keep persevering. So thank you for being you. I absolutely love you. All right, so the next thing is I've been working on a few things. And one of them is, again, we've talked about working in Frank Loeb's book, The 7-Minute Setup. And I was to have like this homework done. I didn't even realize it was March. I shared this last week. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been since March. Like, what the heck? And then, so I went back and forth with Frank a little bit. And he's like, you got to figure out what's holding you back, Shelly. He's like, and let it go. And I realized it wasn't even, and at first I thought, okay, so is it the I'm not good enough holding me back? Is it, what was the other one? I forgot what the other one was. But what it all is that this breast implant illness, I'm still rocking it, right? So I'm still getting through, and what I'm finding, I'm exhausted. Like, it's exhausting me. To the point of like my brain, I'm functioning like 100 times better. And I'm functioning, however, and I do say however, with a lot of grace and a lot of love, because I'm still dealing with breast implant illness after explanting, with the toxins that are still reeling and going through my body. And I had said I was going to drop the link below last week for the Facebook group for the releasing toxins, and I forgot, you guys. I'm sorry. So see, there's that too. And it's just a matter of getting involved in conversations, and then just, so it's okay. So now I'm going to talk about forgetting here too in another respect in just 1 second. And I realized that I'm reeling still from explantation, but I'm also realizing that my sugar intake has been off the hook like never before. So for an example, I'm drinking, like, I know, like for keto, like, and sorry Facebook, I'm just using it as a reference at the moment, is like Bang, like Bang drinks. So I was using, though, that there's some ingredient in that that really, like, it's not a sugar rush, but it's definitely still something in it that like just throws me down. So I can't drink that. And I've been like searching for energy drinks that'll at least try to keep me going, and it's been a challenge. And so even coffee, right? And the reason I didn't even start drinking coffee till 5 years ago, and it was such a weird, funny thing, because when I started drinking it and learned to acquire the taste to drink it, I felt like a grown-up. I just thought coffee was like a grown-up thing, and then I had reached grown-uphood. So it was kind of, it is funny, for me anyway. And anyway, so I realized that breads, again, wheat, any of these things are causing and creating these toxins for more inflammation. And what it's doing, instead of giving me energy, is actually sucking the energy force right out of me. And so if you're experiencing any of that, just, you know what, just DM me and let me know, and I'll just put you in the group, and you can figure it out, you know, what's going to work best for you, your body type, what you like to eat, what you don't like to eat, that sort of thing. And so that's where I'm going on this next piece, because, oh my gosh, I know that, and interestingly enough, Frank's wife is a health holistic coach, and she's amazing, and I've been following her, and I love that, you know, she talks about whole foods and, you know, just eating super healthy that way. And so I'm going to go back to doing that, because when I was doing the more high protein, low carb type stuff, I felt tons better. But even though I was doing that a few months ago, I wasn't doing anything. It wasn't doing anything. And so your hormones have a lot to do with it. So it's just one step at a time, people. And I know that this really can be frustrating. But one thing is for sure, certain, I am seriously still so happy to get rid of these freaking explants. I can, my memory is way better, even though I've said I forgot a couple times. But those are like little things, you know, in the grand scheme of things, when you know, I forgot where my car was parked and couldn't even remember if I shut the refrigerator door or if I let my dog back in the house. So I'm definitely on a great trajectory in that respect. Super grateful and super thankful about that. So my son yesterday had left his son's iPad here, and he had came back. I was on a phone call, and when he left, I didn't see him get in his car. I didn't see him do any of that, because I just turned around. I was in the kitchen, and I get a phone call about a half hour later, and he says, "Mom, did you see the iPad?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, you came in the house and got it." "Yeah, but did I set it down somewhere or something? Because I can't find it anywhere." And I'm like, "It's got to be in your car. You came and picked it up. Like, you purposely came back and picked up the iPad," because his little one, like, loves that thing. And that's like their downtime. Their mommy and daddy time is to give the kids iPads. Trust me when I tell you, they need it. And so then he's like, "Nope." He goes, "I think I had it on the back of my car." So he sends me a picture, and sure enough, there's a spot on his car that looks like the iPad was sitting there. And I'm like, oh no, like, what? And so he asked me to go look, and I'm irritated about it because I'm like, I've just been babysitting all day, and I'm just like getting in a routine of my night thing. I got night things I want to get done because it was my only day off yesterday, and I'm like, ugh. So I go looking, and I'm going down this off ramp onto the freeway, and I'm thinking, is that it? And so I did another loop, and I'm like, nope, that's not it. And I come back, and something was just nudging me that kept saying, nope, you got to go back. So I asked my daughter to come with me as I could use a second set of eyes. I said, will you please come with me? So she did. Sure enough, we're going down the ramp, and she's like, what is it again? I said, it looks like a book. Like, it's got a cover, and it's got the pad in it. And so she's like, so, and in the same area that I had thought I had seen it in the first place, she's like, Mom, you got to drive around, go back. So we drive around the freeway, we come back up on the ramp. Sure enough, she sees the cover. And then she's like, that's it. And I'm like, that's too small. Like, that doesn't look like it. Sure enough, it was the cover of the iPad, and then the iPad itself was down the road a little bit further. And it was all obviously crushed. So either someone, ran over it, or it just broke because it flew off the trunk of the car. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like, first of all, I was super excited because I'm like, that nudging, that all knowing, that just keep go back to that spot, like, was telling me to do that. And I love when that happens. Like, I just really appreciate that. And so I was super excited about it. My daughter's like, it's so weird, Mom. I don't care. I love those things. And it took us back to the spot, and we got it. So my daughter, takes the picture, sends it to my son and everything. And now he's obsessed because he's like, how did I not remember that? Like, why can't I remember that I did that? And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, first of all, this kid, and he's an adult, he'll be 39 at the end of the month. And actually, my daughter is going to be 37 on Monday. Ooh, I got some shopping to do. We'll talk about online shopping too in just a second. So anyway, he's all stressed out and upset that, he can't remember this. And I'm like, so me and my daughter are talking about it, and I said, yeah, he's been talking to me about that a little bit lately, and he's worried, obviously, because, his grandma and great-grandma both have had, Alzheimer's and dementia, and I've had my own issues with memory, but mine has definitely been BII related. And I told her, I said, I go, he's got 1,000 things going on, like, literally. Like, he takes care of his boys. He's such an amazing dad. Takes care of his boys, makes sure that they're taken care of. He takes care of his wife, takes care of the house, works a full-time, very hard job working in the granite business. And I'm like, I have talked to him about this before. I'm like, you got to expect that you're not going to remember everything. Like, there is a lot going on. So yesterday I made the analogy, and I want you to think about this yourself. So I'm like, it's one of those cases where we can be dry. So what I'm thinking what happened is that one of the kids must have had to have something done. So he had set the iPad on the car, took care of the kids, and then just jumped in the car and took off because he was in a hurry to get home as he had groceries in the car. He had just come back from the grocery store. And I'm thinking, I would have did the same thing, right? So I told my daughter, I said, it's like driving. I go, we can be driving down the road, go 5 miles down the road, and all of a sudden go, how did I get here? Because you get so deep in thought about something and things become so automatic that you don't even realize that you're doing it. She's like, oh, Mom, that's really great. She's like, I'm going to text him that. And I'm like, that would be great. Like, I go, because otherwise he's going to be so stressed, again, for the rest of the night, trying to figure out why he couldn't remember why he had put the iPad in the back of the car. Like, I do think we all do things that are so automatic that we don't even realize that we do it, right? Like, I can feed the dog and don't even remember feeding the dog because it's just such a natural part of my habitual mornings that it's just what I do. Or even putting the dishes away, or, well, I definitely always remember making my bed. I make my bed as the first thing I do in the morning. So don't be so hard on yourself. Like, just remember that if you're stressing to stress is very related to memory. And if you're going through a lot of stress and you have a lot of, things going on in your life, you're going to tend to forget things. And Jim Rohn, who is a very, very internationally known philosopher. He is amazing. And he had said this at one point in listening to him. He had said it too. He's like, I have to write notes all the time. He's like, it is impossible to remember everything. So if I want to remember something, I've got to write it down. And this is coming from somebody who is very, very well known. He's, written many, many, many books, and he loves quotes, and he's a quote gifter. So if you want to learn more about Jim Rohn, go ahead and just YouTube him and, Google him, do whatever it is you got to do, and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So, need a drink. So back to the coffee thing too. So coffee isn't really so like I said, I had to acquire a taste for it like 5 years ago, and I'm still drinking it. And there are days that the caffeine works, and there are days I'm like, I think all it does is stain my teeth. And I just really dislike that. So I'm always like doing stuff to like brighten my teeth, do whatever to clean my teeth because I'm drinking such stuff, right? So I am really working on something that, just going back to no caffeine or anything, because I actually did really, really well when I used to drink Pepsi all the time. And when I stopped drinking Pepsi, I was no caffeine whatsoever for years. And then, like I said, 5 years ago, I started drinking again. So I'm gonna work on getting back off the caffeine. No more sugar, no bread, no wheat, gluten, or soy. And prayerfully, and take some of the vitamins that the breast implant illness community talks about, and see if we can start pushing a lot of these toxins out and get this inflammation gone. And so we'll just keep working through it, ladies, together, and we'll go and take it from there. All right. So next thing, online shopping. Okay, so I'm a person who loves to go into stores. Like, I like to look at things. I like to feel things. I like to try them on. And of course, because of, this past year, we haven't been able to try on clothes. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to try doing online shopping. So I have done it a few times and already having not a lot of success. Because everybody's clothing is different sizes, different things. So I bought this shirt. I was super excited about. It was about breast implant illness, and it was like 5 stars, but it was only 1 star. Worst decision ever, for like a really bad review for BII. I really wanted this shirt, and I had paid, a good amount of money for it, and I get it, and it's like a guy's t-shirt, like. This thing's huge, and it fits like it's like just a t-shirt. Like, there's no form to it. There's nothing to it. And I'm like, really? Like, don't we have enough going on as BII people that, what, we want things that we want to feel at least sort of cute in, right? Well, not even sort of. We want to feel cute in, or at least feel good in. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not wearing this. So I sent 2 emails back to this company asking them, what they can do. And I haven't seen or heard anything yet. Still, like, I want to send the t-shirt back. I want to get my money back. And it's like, okay, can we have some good customer service here? Because that would be fabulous. Now, this shirt I really, really like this. Now, I took the shirt that I have, because I have a black shirt. This is for work. And because now I'm back at the Marriott, and so far, you guys, I'm really, really liking it. It's so fun to be back around people and just getting back into the groove of things. And it's really a great stepping stone into what's happening next. And anyway, so I looked, got the name of the shirt, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, it's not in there. But then they were showing others that were similar. So I ordered this one, and I love it. It's like stretchy, it's fitting, and yeah, I'm a little not where I want to be weight-wise, but again, I give myself grace because I know that where my weight's coming from, what it's from, and, so it's like, what, this is going to be one of the topics that we talk about in my new podcast. And Clubhouse is coming up in What You See, What You Don't See. And I'm super, super excited about it. There's a guy that I'm partnered with. His name is Jack. He's a former DJ in the industry that we both were in. And so between him and me, we both have a lot of connections. So we're going to be doing a lot of interviews. I'm super, super excited about it. And we're going to be talking a lot about self-image, mental illness, the tipping community. We're going to be talking about, the dancers, the adult entertainment industry, the clubs, that sort of thing. We're not in the porn industry. We're talking, going into the topless entertainment industry or, the nude industry. We're not talking porn. So that is not going to happen. But what we are doing is that we will be bringing awareness to this community, this beautiful, wonderful tribe of people who work so hard and are not acknowledged and are judged and all these different things. So I'm so excited to bring this. And so I'm hoping the goal is by next week that we'll have put this together in, I'm thinking the week of, not next week, but the week after will be our first one. We haven't picked a date yet, but I will definitely keep you posted. And I will definitely be putting that in, in all of my social media for you to be able to find us easily. And if you want to be on Clubhouse, I do have some personal invites. However, I think Clubhouse is open to everybody now, so you can just go click on Clubhouse and invite yourself in and be invited. So, but otherwise, I do have 6 invites, and I would love to invite you in. So just let me know. All right, everyone. On that note, just know that just be kind. So be kind to others, be kind to yourself, give yourself grace. And again, just remember that, whatever you're doing and you think that you can't remember, you don't remember, that just think of all the things that you're doing in your life and give yourself some love, okay? All right, everyone. It has been great being with you again this Saturday morning. It's Shelly Jean. Love being with you on a mission on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Central. I look forward to seeing you again next Saturday, and we'll definitely keep you informed, like I said, on the podcasting and Clubhouse experiences moving forward. And we'll still be here Saturday mornings. All right, everyone. Hashtag life does begin again every single day. And remember, today is the only day you have. Take one day at a time. Take a breath at a time. It's one day at a time. All right, everyone. Take care. Love you. Bye.